So one of my new clients that I started working with yesterday has been experiencing depersonalization realization for over 30 years. And don't let that scare you. Okay. She's also been struggling with anxiety for even longer. I remember whenever I was suffering and I heard that, my catastrophic brain immediately said, that's going to be me. But one thing that I've learned doing this for the last 8 years and working with thousands of people, a lot of whom have been suffering well over a decade, is that there's a reason that it has taken them this long, and it's not because it takes that long, okay? So we did an onboarding call. I was like, hey, super excited to get started. Let's kind of get into your history, right? Like, kind of walk me through the beginning of symptoms, even generalized anxiety before depersonalization realization showed up. What does your history look like? And she kind of told me the story. And whenever she started to suffer with anxiety and depersonalization realization, number one, there was not nearly as much help available or even education about symptoms as there is right now. Okay. Number two, and I want to preface by saying that I absolutely love therapists. Okay. I love licensed mental health professionals. I think they're incredible people. There's some bad eggs. I can tell you some stories, but I'm telling you, they got into that field because they wanted to help people. Okay. At least most of them did. And unfortunately, there's a gap of understanding in a lot of licensed mental health professionals, particularly with helping people with trauma, which is a state of overwhelming stress in the body, which is what leads to the trauma coping mechanisms of depersonalization realization. To heal DPDR is to get the body out of a trauma response, as well as provide a lot of co-regulation as well. And there's a few other things. And if somebody doesn't have a 21st century understanding of trauma, they're going to be going and looking for a past event and a memory and things like that, which is an antiquated 20th century understanding of how to heal trauma. And so she went to a therapist. She spent 4 years looking for some sort of past memory. The therapist kept saying, if we can just find that memory of something that happened to you, a past trauma, a traumatic event, then we can deal with your depersonalization realization. But actually for her, there wasn't a singular event. It actually is a complex trauma situation. She grew up in a very, very unstable environment, okay? A chaotic, very, very stressful environment. So complex trauma, it's repeated stress over time. It's like filling up a cup of water. And so she never found the memory. And that's part of why she eventually just kind of gave up until she started working with me. And what I told her, as I said, a 21st century understanding of trauma is that we need to focus on doing things that show your body that you're safe in the here and now. And we will indirectly resolve DPDR that way without having to know the memory.